So the team put together this, and they did 3D prints. Tinker signed them, and they made them all for us, and our name is like on the box, and it's supposed to just replicate the shape, the new and improved shape, for 2016. And
is it an actual shoe? I can't tell if it's a model or...
No, it's legit a 3D print.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sneaker History Podcast. We have a very fun Air Max Day special edition for everybody. I'm sitting here chilling with my girl, Angela, EllaEsco. How's everybody doing? How are you doing?
Good.
I say everybody because there might be a pair of hands coming in from the side of frame handing off shoes. We got D over here. Discord OG. Yeah, it's just the Phantom hand. That's what we're looking for. That's the kind of content we need. But I wish I had somebody randomly hand me pairs because I got to lean over and show my bald spot when I need to go grab a pair. So we can't all have that magic. But Angela, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody, who you are, where you're from, what set you rep, the basics. What's up?
Blood. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we can't all do that, right?
You learn in elementary school.
Anyway, I'm totally kidding. So Angela, Ella, I mean, that's a newer nickname, but I definitely respond to that. I mean, I don't respond to bitch, but whatever you want to call me. Anyway, the name EllaEsco, and that originated because I'm such a Nas fan, and the brand EllaEsco had a female like little thing for a minute, and it wasn't even a full season, and that brand was called EllaEsco. So that's honestly where I got the name from. But I guess there's like a SoundCloud artist now who stole my name. So
that's sick, though. I'm not so familiar with the East Coast. I mean, I'm West Coast all day, so I'm not as familiar. But that's a really good tie-in. Where are you now? I know we're both from Las Vegas area. We spent a lot of time there. Were you born in Vegas or?
No, actually born in Portland. I moved to Vegas when I was like 15 to be with my mom. So I finished high school out there and all that. And then, I mean, after the whole Masters of Air thing, I quit my job and everything and just moved up here to try and like go for that dream.
The Pacific Northwest is here, the best area, just for those listening.
Yeah, here,
no, you're
sorry. Good. But ultimately, like Seattle, a little north of Seattle.
Man, and that was a really good platform, and that's kind of where that's kind of going to be a big part of the episode. Not so much the Master of Air, but just the fact that you really know your Air Max-ish. I was just lamenting before we start recording. You do. You do. There's of course there's other people who know more, know less. It's all a sliding scale, right? But I'm definitely down here. You're definitely more towards the top.
Let's go toward the middle because I really give more credit, honestly, even to my partner Derek, and the other Masters of Air know a lot more. You
don't accidentally show. I just know you're so humble about it. It's not your favorite topic, but you don't accidentally show up there. Let's put it that way. The beautiful collection you've amassed is something to truly behold and should be celebrated. So we'll be going into full detail about that. But let's just go ahead and do a little talk about it's Air Max month. You have some baby shoes. Why don't you go ahead and pull out the baby shoes you just had? Because I think we have a thread called I guess it's Sneaker Dads. It should be called Sneaker Parents, really. But just kids with their shoes and their parents, and you pulled out a baby pair. What are some pairs or some kicks you like to pass off to you and Dee's kids? Like, what's the next generation for you guys going to be rocking?
You know what? They won't be able to wear anything Air Max.
Why not?
Because that will be crumbled.
Definitely.
They could probably wear our Dunks or our ones, I guess.
Those will be around forever. Just pull out those cute little baby, like adorable, those little baby shoes.
Yeah. But yeah, like matching with the girls, I hit on these.
Isn't that something that blows your mind, how that was so coveted, and then when it comes back and everybody can get it, people are like, oh, I can get it, I don't want it, but it's still fire.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, that part doesn't matter to me. I mean, it might have when I was younger and I was more like, oh, yeah, look what I got. And stupid elitist type, like, gatekeeper stuff. Derek still calls me a gatekeeper, but whatever. I'm not offended by that because it's like, I would rather have what I couldn't get back in the day. So those coming out in my size even is really hard to acquire. Like, my collection is nothing like the other Masters of Air because they have even the girls have slightly big enough size that they can get a lot more. Not that it wasn't difficult for them, but if you're rocking a 4.5,
it's rough.
Yeah, there's like chlorophylls and not much else.
That's interesting because, you know, I think most people don't think about shoes outside of their own size. Like, oh, out of sight, out of mind. But you're definitely gonna have a harder time getting the kind of stuff you want. I'm sure you could go find whatever 4.5 Joe Smo shoe, but stuff that you actually want.
Yeah.
Difficult. So, I mean, what does the magic hand next to you have any? I always hate saying what's your favorite pair because I could tell you my 5 or 10 favorite pairs. I could never tell you even 3. So why don't you just pull out something you like? Let's put it that way. Let's just pull out stuff you like and let's just take it from there.
Yeah, so when I got a sneak peek just because, you know, I had moved up from Vegas and I got to see the Masters in person before they kind of were shipping out. And while I was picking up my pair, I mean, I kind of bugged them. They were very gracious and kind about it. But they let me look at some, well, I can't say let me. I just saw it on the desk and I grabbed it and I was like, oh, so are these ready? And then I said, hey, what's going on with this? So they don't really make them in my size and the print was way off. So they were like, oh, you can just have these and then hopefully, you know, the next pair is a little bit better quality and we'll get you your real promo pair. So Atmos, you know, when they did the vote back, this was my vote. And it's pretty cool to just be able to pick this up and then drive down the street and put it in my closet for a while. I did end up with 2 pairs of these, and I don't think they released in my size in the US. I'm not 100%.
That was one of the harder newer Air Max releases I remember. There was the Jordan 3 box set too with them, right? I think you got.
Yeah. They didn't make my size in that, I don't think, but I did see that when I was going around the Jordan.
Is that one of the best colorways in your opinion? Just that jade elephant print. It's. What do you think of it? It's just.
You know, I can't say the best. I would say it hits hard, and things like that, and the clots and the bacons and all that stuff, that just hits for me and resonates with me because it's shit I couldn't get back in the day.
No,
so
that seems to be a recurring theme already. Stuff you couldn't get back in the day and not being.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's good. That's like why most of us are listening to a sneaker podcast. It's reminiscing, and I'm in the same boat. Like, why should somebody else, like, why should I not have a shoe because you have it? Like, let that shit retro. And I think the Bacons was another great example of just like beautiful colorway that just maybe in 2021 it doesn't work the same way it did in, you know, the early 2000s, but just so beautiful. I don't think you can really understate just how beautiful so many Air Maxes are. Just like.
Yeah, and he was always really cool, Dave. And then I don't have it anymore, and I definitely would have outgrown it in my mom bod. But I had a few quality sweaters when I went and visited the shop. I mean, it's part of the rounds that you make in New York.
Good old quality meats. So
Yeah.
I mean, let's do this. I've been thinking about it. I mean, there's some just like iconic colorways that are, I think, more popular than others. So we're not going to go like dislike. We're going to go like or love. All right. So do you like this?
Yeah, that's a lot easier. And if I dislike it, you'll really know.
It'll be super obvious. So this one here, I'm going to start out with because it's one of my least favorite. The BW Persian Violet. Do you like or love that purple? You like, right? Shout out to Nick. Yeah. He's one of the people who like die on a bridge for that shoe, and it's like the violet, man, doesn't quite do it.
I like the colorway, but I love what it means to me sentimental. Like, those were the shoes that my grandma used to wear on her walks when her doctor told her to take like a 1 mile walk every day. And I remember her little B-dubs like by the front door when we would go on our walks.
Grandma moments. That's adorable. How about this one? Because this is one of my favorites. The ultramarine, like the Air Max 180, the red and purple.
Because he like sucked his teeth.
It's a like. Okay. Hard one to please. Yeah, how about this one then? I think this is more of a universal one. Like Volt. Listen, not even just like the 95, but it's a Volt on Air Max. Like Volt is Volt a like or love?
Well, and Volt is different than Neon. So that, I think people, when it's apart, people think it's the same, but when you get them together, you can really tell. But that was a lot of confusion there. Yeah, sorry. He keeps making like noises.
No, it's okay.
Breathing hard like a bear.
He's excited.
Over there or something.
Do you like or love the Neon then? If you're so excited, love.
Love.
How about
love? Another grandma story.
No, please share.
I worked at NTLV. Honestly, I had like 3-4 jobs at the time. I worked in an office. I worked at NTLV. I worked the front door to club for like 2 nights a week. That's where I got shot, and it was like on NikeTalk like the next day. And I worked at Fury. So like I had a place to get discount like business suits for my office job, and then when I would roll up to Nike like 3-4 nights a week, I would just buy a new outfit and wear that night I was working, and then ball out at Cheesecake Factory for lunch. So I don't even know how I made any money. Anyway.
I used to work at Nike Las Vegas too, and it's like you burn all your money at that Cheesecake Factory, or you go, it's not a good look.
Yeah. And I always tell myself I'm just gonna get like firecracker salmon rolls, but then I end up getting something else, and I might as well pop in a cheesecake slice. So, but the topic, the Neons grade school, unfortunately, were at the ES, and I don't know if you still can, but I remember then, like shoe tube days, right? I called and had a pair put on hold, and my grandma went there, picked them up and shipped them to me, and God bless her, she didn't put them in a different box. She taped the box and put the label like right on the box.
Cringeworthy for shoe people. It's like,
yeah. I'm like, but she doesn't know. And, she took time out of her day to go do that and send it to me. And then she told me, she said, I felt so VIP. I just went in there and they knew what I was coming in for. And I was like, oh, my gram.
Back when somebody like a grandma could go and get Neons without even the good old days, as we would say.
Yeah. From the ES, when like you had to specifically list people, and like it just felt different then. Like I remember filling out the application and everything by hand and doing it.
Yeah, that different times. I had a buddy who is local to Portland who's been at the ES for a very long time, and just like the amount of stuff they would carry back in the day versus what's carried now, just the culture of sneakers and just has blown up so much to where there's just not enough for everybody to eat. And it's a little tough sometimes.
And the line wraps around to the hash wall.
I've definitely walked out and just not bought stuff before. Just like, well, saving this money on spending this money is not worth my 2 hours to check out. So peace.
Pretty much. That's how I look at it. You know, if you're going to camp all the time too, but that's when you start getting into a whole gray area, because if you love them, you don't think about the investment of time.
No, you definitely don't. So, I mean, let's bring that up. Do you have a particular pair? Does it even have to be like Air Max? It could be a pair of Jordans that has air in it if you want. But like, what's a particular camping out moment? Not your favorite, but like, what's a standout one that comes to mind? Putting in that time investment to get a pair.
It's negative. It's such a negative thing. I was camping out for the Black Laser 4s and Sheeps at the Boulevard. Yeah. This is way before Urban Necessity days. I was like second or third because I had been there all night, like before the mall closed, and I lived down the street, so I made sure like I went back that night and I checked it out. No one was waiting. They wouldn't let you in until the morning. And then I went in and I lined up, and then this other guy came in like 2 hours later maybe, and he lined up on the other side of the door. And he's like, oh, well, the manager told me this is where we're going to line up. And it was, so then everybody started going over there and just following the leader and, you know, typical line annoyances. And then I said, so do you think you're in front of me? Because I've been waiting longer than you. I've been here since like 8:00 last night. And we got into this huge fight, and then I started yelling, and, you know, we do all this, and, you know, so it turned into one of those, and he did respect me, and
as he should. Man, Black Laser Visible Air, so it still counts as Air Max. That is a shoe. I have like the fire red lasers, but like the Black Laser is probably one of the more beautiful shoes I've ever touched. Supple.
Yeah. And they didn't even come in my size. I was doing it as a gift for someone.
That's one kind heart right there you have.
Yeah.
That's I would not do that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
You wouldn't? If your girl was into
she's
that
different.
stuff.
I'm talking a friend, you'd have to be like, I don't know, on your deathbed, like, these black lasers are going to keep me alive. It's like, all right, well, we'll melt them down and put it in your veins. You'll be okay. Let's go ahead and have the Phantom Hand pull out another pair. I want to do the big fancy master box later, but you had a couple goodies there. It looks fancy. If it's frosted glass, it's fancy. But
oh, that's different. Yeah,
yes,
I have that over there.
But let's
too.
see a different pair that tickles your fancy. Let's get a Phantom Hand assist on another pair of Maxes.
Can I get these? Oh yeah. Those fall over. I wouldn't take those anyways. I'll get those. The sale pair. So I think kids today wouldn't know the name, but people our age or hopefully our generation would know Tommy Rebel.
Yes.
I sent him a pair of OG Hirachis for his niece, and then he was on a trip to Philly and he saw something in a 5, and he called me and he's like, yo, what size are you? And I told him, and then he's like, all right. And then he hung up when I was still talking, and I was like, wait, what? Sometimes I'm
That's literally a say less. It's like, all right.
Yeah, say less. So he sent me these.
I know it's good by the box shape. Oh man.
Yeah. And then they're totally done now. They're totally done.
Cooked. Were those 96s? Oh man.
Yeah. And the last time I wore these, it was super, super soft.
You wore them together.
Yeah, I wore them with Derek, and we were doing a photo for the gram. Was the like?
Sorry, can I peek in?
Yeah.
Oh man, double Dunzo.
Yeah.
There's not a blow dryer that can save that air bubble. I think is.
No. But I mean, you could tell, like,
they were well loved before they were done. What does the box say? We can't read the cursive. It's too. You don't have to know all of it, but who signed it?
Tommy.
Oh, okay.
So he said, Angela, thanks for hooking up my niece.
Beautiful.
Brooklyn basements, you know.
That's sick. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep this flowing. What else you got back there?
So, an ID. This is gonna, probably not be super popular. Do you have those LeBrons that I gave you?
Oh, I have to go through that last couple.
How far down in the pile?
All the way down.
Okay. So, 2016, during the Air Max, like June, when was it June? No, it was Air Max Day, 2016, I think. So when they released the Masters of Air video, they were also doing this like in session Nike ID. It was still Nike ID, and the whole thing was HTM, with the assist of Lee Gibson, and I got to hang out with him for a bit, and he's super chill and was just talking to me about his life and progression, coming here and designing with Nike and stuff, and he's made a lot of good moves there. So anyway, he helped with the design, and then I did just super, super simple.
Gorgeous.
It's sail, but I think this part's only like it had to be white, and then like a navy obsidian, and then I did HTM plus A, so HTM plus Angela. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of just really like low key, under the radar, and I like
Hiroshi, Tinker, Mark, Angela. Copy. I mean, so
exactly.
you showed off on the gram, or maybe you just texted me it. Another like a black HTM Air Max 1 or something, or is it a Pinnacle? It was like a black leather Air Max.
Pinnacle. That was all around the same time, 2016, 2017. Most of the Pinnacles didn't come in my size. So when I did start seeing them in my size, I'm like buying it up everywhere. And it's kind of crazy. They ended up at like Centralia, and
I got mine mega cheap. I also had two pairs like the HTM Flyknit joints, like Air Max 90s from that like same time frame. And there's so much good stuff that it's just like under the radar, like nobody really cared the same way. It ebbs and flows so much with Air Max. It's either like it's super hot and people love it, or it's forces and dunks and nobody cares. So let's go ahead. Well, a little bit of TN. Okay.
So yeah, gotta love a good.
That's the 2 or the 3. It's the second one. Air Max.
3. Yeah, 3. But yeah, under the radar, just a grade school thing. Hang on. Oh, peep the jacket when I walk away.
Boom.
This jacket, Derek had one, and I had one. Different colorways before we met each other. So when we started dating, I saw the jacket, and I was like, let's trade.
Wait, sorry, I didn't.
He has this jacket. Yeah.
Yours is the blue.
Mine's blue.
And like it's like it's more like a stash color.
Yeah, it does
Ooh,
look like
I'm
a
into
stash
that.
colorway. Probably why I got it. And then
That's
this one was
adorable.
his.
Couples that max together stay together. Oh wow.
So yeah.
So if some people have a hard
Is it
time,
showing?
you texted
Kind
me
of.
photos. I'll make sure people get clear ones, and we'll link to it. But yeah, it's a 90 or is it 95 in that box? Because I can't see
Which
what's in the
one?
box.
What? Oh no, this is the one when they were redoing the shape, which is so weird. Before Masters of Air, like I wasn't calling it an Air Max 1. I was calling it an 87. Yeah. Anyway. So the team put together this and they did 3D prints. Tinker signed them and they made them all for us, and our name is like on the box, and it's supposed to just replicate the shape, the new and improved shape for 2016. And God, the lighting makes it so you can't see the detail. But
is it an actual shoe? I can't tell if it's a model or
no, it's legit a 3D print.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, it's like super. It's kind of heavy.
It could be the world's sexiest, most expensive paperweight.
Yeah, it is. But you know, there was a lot of like talk about how the shape didn't look good and everything after people saw like my pictures that released that year. But again, like I'm a size 4.5, and that was a little, you know, and the angles of the photos and stuff, I don't think it showed them the true redone shape. Like
I will say I bought
shape.
4 pairs of those remastered Air Max 90s, and they're probably the most comfortable, like old style Air Max I've ever worn. Just they got the shape so right. It just, it feels good on the foot. I like it.
Yeah, I would. It sounds bad. I don't sound like every other one, but if I were to choose, I would choose a 90 over the 87.
One more time? Yeah.
The infrareds?
That's sick.
Yeah.
No, that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, that's an instant classic. How many times have they retroed the infrared 90?
Probably, I want to say probably 8. I mean, if we're not talking like like the engineered mesh version and like weird ass versions, probably like 8 times.
Yeah.
What else you got there?
I'm being tossed another pair that I haven't worn yet.
Ooh.
It's really hard to wear everything during a pandemic and 2 kids and work.
That's probably one of that. I'm mad I put 0 effort into that. I kind of just like shrugged it off, like, they're not that cool. And then I see them in person. I got FOMO bad.
That is exactly what I did. And we had 2 pairs in my size, and I sold one just so that I could buy something else for something, and then basically grabbed another pair. I kept the second pair. Yeah. Yeah, but the shape is a little. Yeah, so I did another one of my IDs. It was Stash inspired. But with a twist. Like I said, it's inspired. It's not a full-on copy.
Oh, those are sick.
So I did that. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is this material is not. It's not really quite a nubuck or a suede. It's just a straight up dust and dirt magnet.
Or what's even worse, sometimes like the material, like it won't crease per se, but it'll show the dirt line from where like no thank you.
Yeah. Where a crease would be.
It kills me.
Yeah.
Well, we got time for like 2 more. because I gotta go meet the homie for dinner, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh.
You can say hi to him. He might listen later. You can say hi to him now.
Oh god. Hi. Hey, what's up? How's the kids? And the cat. 2 more. Can you bring me those?
If it was 3, it wouldn't be
navigation
bad. But 2 to 3.
I think one of the peak moments when I was displaying in New York was talking to Jeff and showing him like I didn't put straight up like dead stock clean pairs on my display. I put worn pairs and I showed what I liked the most. And these are like super, super detailed classic with like the whole grid.
How old are those? I've never seen those before. About. Oh, snap.
I think 2004. Yeah, 2004. Yeah. I know what it is. Yeah, it was like super, super like heavy laser.
Lasers. I mean, if it's done right, it's great. If it just has, there's some bad ones, but that definitely is a killer looking one. And he said is it like the streets of New York, like a grid or? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely into that flavor.
So you were asking what I don't like, what's not Air Max that I wear. And it's honestly just whatever's by the front door. And I have this pair that I call my rain shoes. And everyone laughs at me because I always, I wear them in the rain. And I used to wear them to take my dog for a walk. They're so worn down. But again, people laugh.
It is what it is.
And then you can even see the heel drag is so much that the midsole's coming through. The tooling is like showing.
Here's what gets me every time. So like we'll comment on like the heel drag of that. But when we were little kids, I used to have shoes. Like, what do little kids do? Do your kids do this? Just like drag their heels. Like they burn through sneaker heels. Like it's nothing. I don't get it.
Yeah. Like super
to the
smooth.
bone. I don't get it.
Super
and like
smooth,
those to see a pair of, Supreme Dunks like that well worn, like the shoes people just don't generally wear shoes that much if you have as many as you have, it's just not enough opportunities. So this really shows
it's true.
You be loving that one.
Okay. Can I see the black one?
Just the dog walkers, don't mind me.
Yeah.
Doc Martens? No, my dog walkers, my Supreme Dunks.
No, not Doc Martens. So I grabbed his pair.
So is that tied with the Masters of Air or just? I never got why they call that shoe like the Master, really.
So they presented us with this on. Like when they took us there to tour, they already had the design kind of set in mind. They asked us our favorite Air Max 1. And I mean, you get the real beefed up responses, especially like on Kid Robot, Atmos, Biotech type stuff. So that's where they got a lot of this things. But I think they already had in mind the panels that they were going to do. But you can take that as speculation because I don't know what my NDA says. So these are his. I have my own pair, but I don't know where it is in this room. And then we also have
the GR. Pair. Oh, just the GR.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
which one do you like more, the black or the white? This everything aside, just the way it looks.
Yeah, everything aside, we all said hands down the white.
It looks so much better. And then that kind of gets frustrating sometimes where it's like, I'm sure if you showed 100 people, like, 30 of them would probably love the black, but that white hits. That'd be like a 70%.
Yeah. And the whole Masters of Air thing in general is like, we didn't know what it was going to be called. We were just being interviewed for things and, asked about our story of Air Max, and mine had a lot to do with like, I had to dress professional to the office. So when I turned like 18 or 19, I got like a 95 tattoo that said my name instead of Air Max, and the tongue part, and I put it on the top of my foot. So, you know, after that, I definitely got a couple more Nike tattoos. But that's really like where it came from. Like, I didn't flex all this knowledge or know everything. Honestly, that's definitely Iceberg and Stevie and Lala and Chanika and them. Like, I was more like the passion side in a different way. Not to say they're not passionate; they're extremely passionate. They're just more educated than I am on this.
Assume you're trying to say anything else. Everybody, I'll think of it. 5 or 6 of you. For I think 9. Oh shit, not even close. Well, I don't think we won't link all 9 episodes. We'll link your episode in the description so people can see what we keep alluding to. But Angela, that was so much fun. I'm going to go ahead and just plug one thing for my LA people for Air Max Day. LA Airheads is hosting an Air Max event on 3/26. So we'll.
And my brother will be there.
No, exactly. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. So they're going to have, vendors, art, music, food, obviously Air Max's stuff, giveaways, panels. So if you're in the LA area, or if you're in Northern California, drive your ass down there, go meet up with some people, talk some genuine stuff. Or Vegas, anywhere.
Or Vegas. I mean, come on.
Come drive up.
I drove there
Come
like
pull up.
weekend.
It'll be a lot of fun on Air Max Day, so go check that out. I'll post a flyer on Sneaker History. But Angela, where can they find you on the socials if somebody wants to follow you?
At EllaEsco on everything.
Well, thank you. Thank you to you and Dee so much for your time and showing off the sneaks. You can give a little wave. Whoop. There he is. All right, everybody. Listen.
Oh, wait. Sorry, one more thing.
Oh, it's a Seattle Soul Collector. Have him hand it to you. Let's take a little zoom in on that.
Yeah.
Pass that off.
Yeah, please. I mean, I wish
a little bonus content. We can always shoot more in this talk. It doesn't have to be Air Max Day. We can always just go through the sneakers.
More obscure.
Yeah.
See, if those darn kids would have just gone away sooner, we could have recorded more. But that's.
I mean, Alex is used to me being
the
late.
reservation's
Why don't
in
you
my
just go
name, and I
late to
feel
dinner?
weird.
Actually, Alex is the one that designed it.
Yeah, Alex is the one that designed these. So tell him to
I will bring that
have
up.
A lemonade.
All right.
Chill.
So no, thank you guys. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you're following at Sneaker History on all major platforms: YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, everything. All right. Peace.